Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday live. I said I was going to go live on Tuesday, and here we are, guys. It's been a while. Hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic out there. How we're going to kind of structure the stream is I'm going to go over, our thesis, kind of everything we're looking towards for the next 3 to 4 months, which I don't think there's a lot of time left in this crypto bull market. I really don't think. And we're going to go over, what we've been talking about in the videos since about April. And we'll jump on into the chat as we get towards the end here. We'll jump on towards the chat. We'll say what's up. But obviously, we're going to talk about the crypto market as we go along here. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everyone's doing fantastic out there. We got a lot to talk about. We'll kind of talk about what's going on in my life at the end, and everything that's in between. But hope everyone's doing fantastic. And the crypto market, man, I don't think could look any better than it has for quite a while. And if you've been following the channel and been following the videos for the past 3 to 4 months, man, everything is kind of playing absolutely perfectly here for our thesis of, the crypto market getting the biggest blow off top that we've ever seen before we get to the biggest bubble pop that we've ever seen in crypto. And we'll kind of go over why, right? Our stablecoin dominance, right? We'll go over, our total chart. Why we're expecting kind of this, setup here to play out. Bitcoin, why we're expecting Bitcoin to push higher, and ultimately, though I expect Bitcoin to push higher, why I expect the altcoins, including Ethereum, XRP, and a lot of your fundamentally sound coins, to be really leading this push, and what's really going to be the main driver of this push going to the 4236 Fibonacci level, where even your Uncle Bill and cousin Eddie and your sister Freddie, I don't know if you got a sister named Freddie, but if you do, all of them will say crypto will change the world. Which, if you've been anything around the crypto market for quite a while, once everyone that doesn't pay attention to crypto starts saying crypto will change the world, well, that is typically the time where you're getting pretty close to the highs. But as it stands right now, I bet everyone's coming to the chat. I see everyone in the chat, and I hope everyone is absolutely killing it, man. Absolutely killing it. It's good to see everyone, man. It's been a while. But, at least to, get up and talk about everything, to start out with, right? I know you guys have been watching the channel. I know you guys have been leaving comments in the comment section. I know you guys know all about this thesis, man. I talk about it almost every single video, and I'm a big believer in, if nothing's really changed in the thesis, why are you going to talk about something different, right? So, as we kind of go here, right, what I'm expecting here and what has kind of played out, if we go back over here to Bitcoin, right, ever since we kind of went down to our 50 moving average bands down here in March and April when everyone and their mother was crapping their pants because of the tariffs. We were kind of said that's the time you want to be bullish, right? You want to be bullish at these 50 moving average bands, just like over here in 2024. It's the time you wanted to be bullish, and just like over here in 2023, it's the time you wanted to be bullish, right? So over here in 2025, right, when Trump was implementing the tariffs and everyone was crapping their pants and the stock market was crashing, that's said, you want to stay bullish here, guys. You don't want to be bearish at the 50 moving average bands. If you break them, that's when you want to be bearish, but you want to be bullish here, right? And ever since that point, we've seen Bitcoin going about, a 67% move to the upside, now just getting a nice retest of those highs. And I think ultimately we're going to see Bitcoin push higher here in the next, week or so. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin pushing, 120, 130 and higher here as we, head into September. And ultimately, that was kind of the driver. And what we said, total market cap is forming this big macro rising wedge, which if you know anything about patterns, my friends, all you guys in the chat or any of you guys watching this live stream after the fact, you know anything about patterns, well, these rising wedges are typically bearish, right? So what we're kind of looking for here is another move in the biggest blow off top, and the blow off top that's going to suck all the retail back in the market, just like over here in 2021 and 2017, right? This big blow off top up to the 4236 Fibonacci, which conversely, even though it's not really a word, the 4236 Fibonacci, 10 trillion, which obviously is a psychological number. The whales love psychological numbers. Happen to be at the same level, and towards the end of this year, which if you're a believer in the 4-year cycle of crypto, which has not failed up to this point, we would expect a crypto top somewhere in Q4, which conversely would also put us right at the top of this rising wedge over here, right? And What's going to get us there, right? What's going to get us there? Is Bitcoin just going to keep dominating and Bitcoin just going to be pushing 200, 300, 400K, and that's ultimately going to be the reason why total market cap gets up here? I don't think so, right? I really don't think so. What I believe is going to happen, and what has kind of already started to happen, is it's really going to be the altcoin market that's going to get us up to that 4236 Fibonacci and get everyone super, super excited. And you can already kind of start to see it, right? If you take a look over here, Ethereum, we actually had Ethereum hit a new all-time high just a few days ago, actually. We've gotten a little bit of a pullback since, but we'll kind of go over that. But I also am expecting Ethereum to keep pushing higher here. And the altcoin market, which also has its macro rising wedge, to come up to the 3618 and 2618 Fibonacci, just like it did in the previous cycle before also having its big rug pull. Now, how could I sit up here through all this crap, right? The tariff crap, the wars, what else has gone on since there? There was something that went on the other day. The inflation stuff, right? When everyone's saying no more rate cuts, and then Powell says we're getting rate cuts, but whatever. How can I sit here and just be confident that the market's going to go higher, right? Just because we have these rising wedges, right? That's, you might be saying, Jordan, that's crazy, right? Why are you confident just in that? Well, it's this chart, guys. It's this chart that's just going to continue to make me confident that no matter what pullbacks we get, and no matter what kind of happens to the market and what news comes out over the course of the next few weeks, guys, I'm not going to be bearish on the crypto market until at least our stablecoin dominance chart gets back down to 4.91%. Okay, I've stated this many, many times. This is a macro range since 2023. Okay, where we came up came to lows, to the highs, the lows, to the highs, and since about this April point, which was right when we had that tariff stuff, you've been wanting to be bullish on the crypto market until we get back down to the bottom of the range. It's simple, right? Because if stablecoin dominance moves back down to the bottom of the range, what we're simply expecting is total market cap is going to continue up. Okay. So the way I'm looking at it is this. I don't care what news comes out. I don't care if it's bullish news, bearish news. I'm bullish on the crypto market until we at least see 4.91%. Now, I do believe we're going to push a little bit lower, get everyone super excited, right? But ultimately, here's where my thesis comes in, guys. Ultimately, this move down on stablecoin dominance is going to be met with a massive rise on stablecoin dominance. Because if you know anything about Wyckoff accumulation, this looks an awful lot like it's forming something like that. A big third move down that gets everyone super excited in the crypto market and blasts us higher before ultimately a fake out and a giant push up on stablecoin dominance, which causes a massive bubble pop. Very similar to the dot-com bubble back in the early 2000s. All right? That's kind of what I'm looking towards. I know it sounds crazy, right? You might be sitting here like, Jordan, that sounds freaking crazy, man. All right? But I'm just following the charts. And charts tell me stablecoin dominance has lower to go. Okay? Which tells me total market cap has higher to go. Simple as that. They're inversely correlated, right? And I love Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin's still my biggest holding to this day. I still believe Bitcoin's going higher. But I do believe it's going to be the altcoin market that's going to absolutely explode and get us up to 10 trillion. Okay? And why do I think that? Well, I think we're towards the end of the cycle, guys. And that's simply based off of a few things, right? The 4-year cycle would tell us that we only have 3 to 4 months, not even 3 to 4 months, up to 4 months left in this cycle, my friends. All right? We're in August of the 4th year, right? Also, Bitcoin dominance, okay, typically absolutely gets decimated towards the end of the cycle, okay? We saw in 2021, Bitcoin dominance went from 73% to 40% in 4 months. We saw in 2017, from July 2017 to December 2017, 5 months went from 79% to 35%. So what I'm expecting here is a little bit more of a tame version of those. I don't think we're going to get, that massive a move, but I am looking for a move down in Bitcoin dominance down to that green box. So if we're putting this all together, right, stablecoin dominance going down, so we're expecting total market cap to go up, but then we're also expecting Bitcoin dominance to go down, right? That means pretty much what that means is Ethereum, XRP, altcoin explosion, right? And that's kind of what I'm looking for, towards the end of this cycle, and what I've been talking about since about April. And we're seeing it play out, right? We're seeing it play out, my friends. Hope everyone's doing good in the chat. I see everyone in the chat, by the way. I see everyone out there in the chat, okay? I really do. I really do, man. We got 700 people in here, bro. We got 700 peeps in here, man. Damn. We came right back with 700 peeps, man. You guys are awesome. 200 likes. Let's freaking go. William Stafford became a member. I see you, William. Exhibit joined as a member. What's up, bro? Travis joined as a member, bro. Vinny. Damn. Vinny, we'll talk. I'm going to jump in the chat in a little bit, man. I'm kind of just going over the thesis for anyone that's new and whoever hasn't watched in the channel for a while. If you haven't been watching the videos, it's the perfect synopsis, man. Perfect synopsis. If that's, I don't even know if that's a word. No, it's a synopsis. You guys know I'm horrible with vocabulary. Absolutely horrible with vocabulary. I couldn't be worse. But anyway, shout out to everyone in the chat, man. All right. So now what were we talking about? All right, so we're already starting to see it, right? We're seeing Ethereum. Ethereum hit a new all-time high the other day. Like we said on the video, we could chop around here for a few, for 2-3 weeks. It wouldn't shock me if Ethereum chops right here below the previous all-time high for a few weeks. Typically what happens, right? Typically the first hit, you don't typically break out right away, right? So if we don't see a breakout right away, that's fine. But ultimately, I do think Ethereum is going to push into all-time highs. And if we peep around the rest of the crypto market, guys, we're starting to see coins start getting close to their cycle highs, right? Chainlink's approaching their cycle highs, right? XRP has already broken to a new cycle high just a few weeks ago, but ultimately is right there, right? Crow today, getting close to new cycle highs, right? So a lot of the coins we've been talking about are approaching new cycle highs, right? And it all starts with Ethereum, right? So as we kind of go along here, obviously the initial thesis is Bitcoin breaking into new all-time highs, which is going to cause the altcoins to break into new all-time highs. But I think what it really is now it's kind of like the new step 2, right? It was Bitcoin season. Now it's been Ethereum season, 100% been Ethereum season. You get ETH into price discovery, which, like I said, may not happen right away, right? Might take a little bit of a patience here for a few weeks, but you get Ethereum into price discovery, then typically that's going to lead to the rest of your altcoins absolutely popping off, like XRP and Chainlink, right? And CRV and Crow, right? That's going to get all these other coins starting to pop off. So, as we kind of go along here and we kind of look forward to what's coming, I think we have the setup kind of everywhere, right? We have Bitcoin dominance falling. We have stablecoin dominance falling, which means total market cap up, which means led by altcoins. Okay. Once again, that doesn't mean I don't think Bitcoin's going higher. I just think the tide is shifting, and the tide has been shifting since about April towards step 2, which is typically Ethereum season, which is then followed by kind of everything else season, right? So everything's kind of playing along, right? And I think as we kind of go along here and we kind of look at this little pullback we've had for the past, right, I guess a few weeks for Bitcoin, it really hasn't been a pullback for ETH. It's been like a few days. It's been a few days pullback for ETH, man.
Love your analysis. Thank you. Thoughts on stables?
Damn, thanks, SB Tipped. Yeah, we'll check out that in a little bit. I'll hop in the chat in a little bit, guys. I kind of want to go through everything, and then I'm going to hop in the chat and we'll chit chat about crypto and life a little bit. But I kind of want to go over everything here. But so it's really only been a few days pullback for ETH, right? But I guess if you kind of look at Bitcoin, right, for everyone that's worried about this little multi-week pullback that we've had for Bitcoin, and a few altcoins have been pulling back for multi-weeks. A lot of altcoins actually have made new highs last week while Bitcoin was red. Right, just kind of what we're going through. But if you look at Bitcoin, right, Bitcoin really just came back down and retested these previous highs, right? So you came up, this was resistance. You've now flipped that into support, hopefully, right, around like the 109,000 level. I actually thought we're going to hold like 111, but whatever. You're nitpicking, but really you're testing these previous highs. I think you're going to bounce, right? I think if Bitcoin starts breaking below, that 109,000 level, then, we gotta talk about some things, right?
Thanks for what you do.
At least in the short term, man.
Strategy.
Yo, shout out to Jerome Smith. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming in and watching. It's good to see everyone, man. Like I said, a lot changed in my life, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But as we kind of go along here, right? I think if you break below these previous highs, then maybe we got a little bit of longer to wait, right? It doesn't mean the whole thesis has changed. Damn, hold on, I gotta turn these off real quick.
Can you give us some alpha?
I gotta turn the mute sounds off. Shout out to Joey, dude. You guys are coming in hot, man. You guys are coming in hot. Thank you so much, my man. Thank you, Joey. But yeah, I mean, I think if you get below 109,000, that's when, short term, you may be looking at, having to wait a few more weeks, which would not be ideal, right? We don't want to wait a few weeks. We're all impatient here, including myself. But, I think right now, as long as Bitcoin holds there, I think we're looking pretty good. And it also correlates for the short-term pullback on total market cap, which really hasn't been a pullback, guys. I think, the last few weeks have been kind of a little overreaction to just a low volatility because of, Jerome Powell and inflation and stuff. But if you look at total market cap, right, this was our previous all-time high December. It's really just the same thing, guys, right? If we just kind of mark off that top green candle there, right, we broke out, we back tested, we came back up, we're back testing again, right? So same kind of thing. As long as total market cap holds above these previous highs, looks like just a retest to me before we're actually going into that true price discovery. So Bitcoin back test, total market cap back test. We can even go on to the altcoin market, which had this nice little double bottom and sort of also just back testing these previous resistances and also flipping that as support, right? If we kind of look at all these charts, looks like a lot of back tests to me. Obviously, if we start to break some of those, then, we probably have to talk about slightly lower prices for Bitcoin, which means probably a little lower prices for altcoins. But, we'll kind of talk about when we get there. As of right now, things are looking good. We're holding, and I think it's just nitpicking. And really, I don't really mind short-term volatility as long as my stablecoin dominance chart looks the way it does. And until we get down to 4.91%, I'm looking for the crypto market to go higher, man. Easy as that, simple as that. And that's kind of where we go along with there, man. Other than that, how many people got in here now? I'm just curious, man. Just curious. Almost 1,000, dude. Holy crap. You guys are coming back in hot, man. Shout out to everyone, man. It's good. It's good to see, you guys are obviously showing crazy support in the comments section for the videos, but it's good to see everyone coming into the live stream and coming in hot and showing the support, man. All right. One thing I do have to say, okay? I don't think there's a lot of time left, okay? And I want to make this clear, and I want to kind of, as we go along here, guys, like we talked about when we were down here, we said as soon as we break into highs, guys, euphoria is going to start, and you're never going to think the crypto market's going to go down again. And I just want to make this clear, guys. I don't think there's a lot of time left, okay? I really don't think there's a lot of time left in this market, but I have been around this market a while, and I know once you're getting to the top, no one's going to think it's close to the top, right? And there's going to be narratives, and I think there's going to be crazy news that comes out, okay? Crazy news, as we tend towards the end of this year, it's going to cause this. And no one's going to think it's the top, and everyone's going to think we're just going to go up forever. I want to just stress this. The higher total market cap goes, make sure you guys are taking chips off the table, okay? That's not the time to be buying. That's the time to be taking chips off the table, okay? And I think, one thing I am keeping an eye on here, and I don't know how this is going to play out, guys. I think anyone who's trying to predict time is kind of a fool. I don't really know anything about time. The only thing I really can say with time is we have the 4-year cycle to look at, right? And the 4-year cycle says we got, 4 months tops, right? We saw 2017 go into about January of that 5th year. And then obviously we saw the last bull market ended in November, right? So I don't think there's a lot of time left here. And I think that comes with some confusion from a lot of people who say, if we only have 1 to 4 months left. How could we possibly get the moves you're talking about? And I just want to just stress that when these moves do happen, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but if we're kind of looking forward and we say these moves do happen, they're going to happen faster than you guys think, right? And I think a perfect example is the Ethereum chart. If you just go back to April, ETH was at 1,300, okay? We just almost hit 5,000. That happened in a span of 4 months, okay? ETH, which is a huge market cap crypto, right, did about a 4x in 4 months, okay? These moves can happen very, very quickly. And this move that we saw for ETH is the move that I think we're going to see from a lot of your other altcoins, okay? And it's going to happen very, very quickly. And I just want to make this clear that it's not going to be this thing that lasts forever. If you start to see these altcoins popping off, make sure you guys are taking chips off the table. I don't think it's going to last very long. So I just want to make this clear. When I have this chart, this does not mean we're going into some rip-roaring 4-year news cycle. Yeah, I think if this is going to happen, it's going to top within the next 4 months. I don't think it's going to go longer than that. It's going to be a quick move if it's going to happen, right? Obviously, we have our invalidations, right? We'll kind of go over if we ever get close to our invalidations. Obviously, right now we're not close to our invalidations, but I don't think it's going to last very long. Okay, and even global liquidity tells us that, we're going to get some type of, Bitcoin's followed global liquidity for the past 3 years. It tells us that we're going to get some type of like medium local top in like the middle of September. I don't know if that's going to be some massive wipeout or liquidation event or something, but global liquidity tells us, maybe we got Bitcoin going up for another month. Okay, but we are expecting some type of pullback, towards the middle to end of September. So just have that on your radar, guys. We'll kind of talk about it in the videos and, the live streams when we do them, but we kind of got that going on and that little monster here to deal with. If we do see Bitcoin rip up into the middle of September, we got this little monster here, which just doesn't look like a big move, but, even when you get global liquidity going sideways, you're seeing Bitcoin get big pullback. So just keep that in mind as we kind of go along. But yeah, that's mostly it, guys. I think, I'll jump into the chat. We'll say hi, but everything's looking good, right? Everything's looking good. I don't think there's anything too crazy. I don't think there's anything too different. And, we're getting some movers here, man. We're getting some movers here. Crow going absolutely nuts today. Shout out to the Crow gang, man. This cycle, I haven't fumbled my Crow bags, and we're getting back up to those cycle highs, man. So we'll see if we can get Crow to break out. Obviously, XRP has been another one that I've talked about at least since, this consolidation. I think XRP's got higher to go, just slowly creeping up. But I think XRP's got higher to go. Chainlink, right? Those 3 higher lows starting to show up. I think Chainlink's got those 3 higher lows, very similar to the Crow chart here, 3 higher lows. We got things playing out. It's just a matter of letting it play out and not overreacting to the news every time we get a little news, man. So that's really it, man. Right? If you've been following the videos, everything's playing out. Life's good. It's just a matter of letting it play out, my friends. All right, let's jump into the chat because I just saw Franco. It's a good time to jump into the chat, man. Okay. Let's see what we got. Franco, let's go, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you, man. All right, let's jump out of the chat. Vinny said, can it go past 11 trillion? Well, I'll say this, Vinny. It's not guaranteed we go to 10 trillion, right? That's just kind of like a psychological level that I have, right? Obviously, 10 trillion, like, what better level to top at? 4236. And I only say that because it's at the 4236 Fibonacci level. If you actually look at the previous cycle, from the highs to the lows, you guys can see the previous cycle topped at almost 3 trillion, right? Psychological level, power of 3 at the 4236 Fibonacci level as well. So that's kind of why I have that level there. It's not guaranteed we get to 10 trillion. Once again, I say this, guys, the higher total market cap goes, just make sure you're taking profits on the way up. Okay. This is not like, I'm going to hold everything till we get to 10 trillion. No, don't do that. That's a bad idea. That's a really, really bad idea, right? Just make sure you guys are taking profits on the way up, securing your future self on the way up, and kind of go from there, right? Shout out to, but can it go to 11 trillion? Sure, man. It can, it can go anywhere, right? I mean, it can go to 5 trillion and stop. You know? But yeah, that's that. Shout out to Vinny Grant. SB, thank you, man. He said, love your analysis. Thank you. Thoughts on stables? Dude, I honestly think stable coins, dude, the way the things are going, I honestly think stable coins will be the winner of all this stuff. I mean, I'm not going to talk about news, right? I want to stick to charts. But, you know, if this is correct and this is just, doesn't this look like a crypto bear market into, like, when I look at this chart, right, this is stablecoin dominance. This chart scares the crap out of me, man. Like, this just looks like, right, a typical crypto bull market, a typical crypto bear market, and then the typical crypto accumulation, right? I mean, doesn't this just look like a crypto bull to bear to accumulation to another bull? This chart scares the crap out of me, like towards the end of this year. And it all makes sense for like the 4-year cycle too. So like, if this is correct and this is just a giant Wyckoff accumulation for stablecoins, maybe it's, you know, I've never really thought about this, but you know, this is just the way I'm looking at the chart. Maybe this just because we get some major stablecoins, like stablecoins start getting used in the real world, right? And maybe stablecoin dominance goes up because we're seeing adoption of stablecoins. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm bullish on stable coins, man. I actually think if anything's going to get used, it's going to be stable coins. And maybe this is like the chart that shows stable coins are going to get used. I don't know, man. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I'm not going to make any predictions. Jerome Smith. Damn, man. Thanks for what you do. Thanks, Jerome Smith. Thanks for coming in and watching every single day. Or every single video, because it hasn't been every single day, to be fair. Joey said, Jordan, can you give us some alpha? Where do you think Crow price will top this cycle? I'm in since 8 cents. Let's go, man. I didn't fumble the Crow bag this cycle. Let's go. I mean, we're at resistance right now, right? So I will say this in the short term. We're kind of just looking at Crow, right? I mean, we're at resistance, right? We have a top here. We have a top here. We're getting bullish news into resistance. It wouldn't shock me if you kind of sell off a little bit here. All right. But ultimately, I mean, you can see on the chart, man. I mean, after you get through this region, which probably won't happen right away, right? This region here. After you get through that region, I mean, really, I mean, you're looking at 50 cents to $1, right? So that's Crow, man. Like I said, I really don't even think it's alt season yet, guys. I think right now it's Ethereum season. I think you're just starting to see that the accumulations of these altcoins just finishing up. Right now it's ETH season. And once ETH season's done, that's when I think you're going to see these altcoins break out. I wouldn't be shocked to see Crow kind of stall out here. It's awesome news, man, but you never trust those news pumps right into resistance, right? But where do I think Crow tops this cycle? Man. I think I made a Crow prediction video. Let's look at something, right? Let's look at our Crow Bitcoin chart. We haven't looked at this in a while. Look at the Wyckoff. Oh, man, it couldn't be more beautiful, right? I've always said, guys, this is my favorite chart in crypto. Something about Crow, man, right? The second biggest exchange, U.S. exchange, and it's just so criminally undervalued compared to Coinbase and Binance. I don't understand why that is. But like, look at the two lows. Look at the reclaim back into the range, right? I mean, it's the most beautiful chart in crypto, and I think you're going to start to see this play out. I mean, just to do an example, if this played out, that's a 859% move against BTC. Assuming Bitcoin doesn't go higher, which I think Bitcoin's going to go higher, an 859% move. I'm not saying it's going here, guys. I'm just 191. We get you to like 191 right now. If that chart plays out, which it's taken a long time Taking a long time to play out. Anyways, we've been talking about Crow for I don't know how long. What does the gold and moon memberships get? I mean, to be honest, Michael, I'm going to be completely honest with you, man. Right now, the gold and moon don't get you anything more than just supporting the channel more. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you, man. They get you the same as the other one does. Maybe that'll change at some point in the future here. But right now, it's the same thing, man. Same thing, my man. Same thing, my man. Shout out to Michael Vandervoort. Joe, what are you talking about, bro? Bull run till 2030. BlackRock changed it. Oh, boy. I mean, the problem with that is, last cycle we were like, oh, man, like, Elon Musk is buying crypto, right? Elon Musk is, right, buying Bitcoin, hyping up Doge. It's never going to go down again, man. We're going to get all the other billionaires in. Right? Actually, sorry. That was all the way. Yeah, that was here. And that was sort of towards the top of the cycle, right? Obviously, BlackRock's been in a while. I'm gonna believe in the 4-year cycle until it doesn't work, man. I mean, it's worked every cycle. I will believe it when I see it. That this market doesn't have only 4 months left tops. I don't know, man. I'll believe it when I see it. And if I see it, I'll change my mind. But as of right now, I'm a believer in the 4-year cycle. I think this market's topped by January this year, if not sooner. Somewhere between, we've seen November, we've seen January, sometime in Q4 or January, just because 2017 went on until January. Well, technically, Bitcoin topped in December. I don't know. Maybe this time's different, though. But, as you know, it's always dangerous words to say this time's different, It's always dangerous. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that. Thank you, Joe. Bet the bull when ADA ETF launches. Goodbye market. That'll probably be the top signal, man. Because I think the ETFs are great. The ETFs are great right now. Like the ETFs are fantastic. Because there's only a Bitcoin and ETH ETF. I think when you start getting all these other ones spammed, right? I'm assuming we're going to get an XRP ETF. I'm assuming we're going to get a Solana ETF. I'm assuming we're going to get, Doge and, Cardano and all the top alts. I think then it's just going to be you're getting too watered down and there's too many things to buy to support. Like eventually it's going to be you're going to have too many to support. Kind of like the Solana memes, right? They were great, and then when you started to have too many, there wasn't enough money to support all of them. I think you're going to kind of get into that problem once you start getting all the altcoins with their own ETFs, right? I think they're great right now, but something tells me when all these ETFs launch, it's going to be close to the top, probably within a few weeks of the top, is when you start getting all these altcoin ETFs launched. That'll probably be part of the mania phase. It's kind of like an obvious mania phase, Richard Charles, happy birthday, Jordan. Bro, it is my birthday pretty soon. You guys know when my birthday is. My birthday is September 12th. We're almost there. We're like 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away to the birthday, man. Hoffs. I saw Hoffs in the chat said Savvy flip bullish, which is scary. Dude, I haven't watched Savvy in a year, dude. I have no idea what he's doing. But that is pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. Franco, what's up, man? What the heck? Jordan's streaming. Your girlfriend let you stream. I don't believe it. She must be out of town. No, man, I was feeling it on Friday. I was feeling it, man, because I think it's time. Oh, I thought it's time for like 4 months, but I think it's we're getting to like the mania phase of the cycle here. Within these next 4 months, I think it's time. It's time, man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be streaming every day. I can't do that. Okay. But, definitely more often. Because I think we're going to have a fun time here. I think it's going to be a fun time, a very, very fun time if this plays out. And if this plays out, man, it's going to be pretty legendary. But I think the key is not getting caught up in the mania phase when we're up here. Don't get caught up in it, man. Do not get caught up in the hype. That's going to be the key. And I know a lot of you guys won't. A lot of you guys are very smart, and a lot of you guys have been here for years, and you won't get caught up in that hype. But it's going to be. I'll tell you this: it's going to be tough on this channel. That if we do get this move up like this, it's going to be very hard on this channel to tell people that the top is close, because I'm going to be getting a lot of hate, and I'm going to need you guys back up here. Okay, when we get up, we start pushing, 4, 5, 6, 7 trillion, man, all the newbies are going to start coming back in, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough saying you should probably be selling rather than buying here. I'm just saying. You probably shouldn't be buying. Christian Soto, can you look at Doge? The Doge. I actually haven't looked at Doge in a long time, to be honest. Doge, it's fine, man. I mean, like, Doge is another one where you're kind of just making the higher low. Like, you're just slowly grinding with these higher lows, right? It's the same for a lot of these altcoins. They all have the same chart, right? Doge almost looks exactly like Total 3, just not as high, right? It's all the 1, 2, 3 higher lows, right? The 3 rising valleys before the big move. Okay, it's the same thing with Doge. Doge, 1, 2, 3. I think you're just going to finish this consolidation. It could take a few more weeks, right? That's, again, I think it's ETH season. It's not really alt season yet. Okay, I think it's Ethereum season, right? So while ETH continues to have its season and ETH pushes into new all-time highs over the next few weeks, right? Doge is probably just going to continue to consolidate here, and then when it's ready, right? It's ready. I think it's going to go for it when it's ready. When it's finally time to rip off the Band-Aid, it's going to go. It's going to happen faster than most people think it's going to happen. It's going to be over faster than people think it's going to happen. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before Doge, starts pulling what Crow did, right? Or what Chainlink's doing, right? Just a matter of time. I think they'll all have, all the big caps will have their turn. I don't know if all the altcoins are going to pump. I don't think there's too many altcoins now, and I still think there's too many altcoins, right? I don't know if every single coin is going to be blasting off into new all-time highs, but I think a lot of the top caps, right? A lot of the major altcoins are going to do well, or at least push closer into new all-time highs. But I don't think it's going to be where you're getting all this trash, like all these coins at the lows, like Polkadot and any coin that's still at the lows. I still think they're going to pump, but to be thinking all these coins are going to be massively pumping to new all-time highs, I think it's pretty clear which coins the whales have been accumulating, right? The coins that are just been making higher lows, right, over time. And then it's pretty clear the ones that no one it's pretty clear the ones that, even though they're at support, the ones that no one really cares about, and the ones that whales haven't been accumulating at all. It's pretty clear, right? But even some of these crappy altcoins, I'm not saying buy these alts, guys. Okay, I own very few alts, because I think they're just stronger. But even these crappy alts, look where they are on the chart, man. Even if you just get a retrace up to back to these highs, that, you're still talking about a 6x. So, not to pick on Cadena, but just to use it as an example. Sometimes you got to use what you got to use. Felipe, member for 24 months. Dude, we got 1,300 people in here after going live. You guys are crazy, man. Cheers to everyone. Long time no see. I'll be selling when George launches his meme coin. Dude, I haven't watched George in 2025. I know that. I have no idea what's George been up to, man. I really don't watch many people anymore, man. Crypto people. I really don't watch too many channels, man. I've mostly just been sticking to my own thesis and just looking at the chart the way I want to look at it. I really haven't watched anyone for like 8 months. So I can't even comment on what Savvy's doing or George is doing or anything like that. Nor do I think it really matters. But man, as far as me, man, I moved. You know, if we can kind of talk about that. Good to see you, Crypto Shock. As far as my life, I moved back up north, which I told you guys I was super excited about. I'm back up in Massachusetts. Very, very happy. Just been doing some new stuff, right? I had the urge to make videos again, and I kind of like, I needed a little dude. I mean, you guys could probably tell, man, I was streaming since 2021, right? I was a little burnt out, right? From doing it for so long, man. I mean, that's what I did for like 4 years, man. I was a little burnt out from live streaming, but I feel so refreshed from just taking like a step back from it. And, you know, I'm ready for a fun time here, man. But yeah, I've been doing some other stuff. Making the videos has been, you know, taking back a little bit of my time to do some other stuff. And I just enjoy making the videos, man. It makes it short and concise, but I do miss you guys, and I do miss you, you know, come on to live streams. And I mean, we're a lot of you guys were on here for 3 years, man, like 3-4 years, right? So it's obviously great to see you guys, and you know, a lot of you guys were great friends during that time, right? So obviously, I do want to start live streaming as we kind of get into what I think is going to be the euphoria phase, and having some fun here. And for a lot of you guys that have been grinding this market for 3-4 years, been, you know, with me through the ride since back here, man, and especially through this bull. But I think it's going to be a redemption for a lot of us, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. But it's going to be stressful too, man. There's going to be swings up, swings down, and I don't think it's going to be easy. But you know, once again, I said I'm happy with my life. Had to get through some stuff, you know, last year. That I guess we'll talk about at a future date. But everything's good now. I haven't been happier in a long time, man, and I feel super refreshed. So everything's good, man. Everything's good. I really can't complain about anything, man. Super happy to be up here closer to family. I got a beautiful girlfriend who loves me more than anyone ever has. Family that loves me more than anyone ever has. I've been hitting the gym freaking hard. I'm in the best shape I've probably been in since college. Yeah, things have been good, man. Hope everyone else has been doing great. And if you haven't, I think we're gonna have a fun time over the next few months. So that's that. Let's see. Cam fam videos. Yeah, dude. I remember I made those. Those are funny, man. I thought those were pretty funny. I thought more people should have watched those than actually they did, but I guess not. Favorite workout? Dude, I mean I just do the simple push pull legs. Simple push pull legs. It's just about consistency. You can do any workout. You just got to be consistent about it. That's it, man. I mean, you could do full body workouts 3 times a week and get results. It's all about whoop. Hope I didn't lose you guys. I think we're good. I think we're good. Tell me the buying price of Bitcoin. Bro, I think the time to be buying Bitcoin has sailed, my friend. I think in my personal opinion, and this is not funny, I don't really know if it's the time to buy really anything, man. I think we're closer to the point where you want to be selling than buying. I mean, the time to be buying anything that I bought is kind of sailed. I personally wouldn't be buying anything else. I mean, I look at the coins that I own, and most of them are severely up off the lows. I personally wouldn't be buying really any of these. I mean, there's a few that haven't really performed yet, but for the most part, I mean, you could look at some of these coins that are still super low and haven't moved, but I almost wonder if the market makers and the whales are almost sort of like consolidated their bags into these plays that are making higher lows and higher highs. I almost worry about these coins that haven't moved at all. Like, why is Polkadot still at the lows? Right? I mean, and if you ask yourself that, you might ask yourself, like, should I buy Polkadot? It's at support, right? Should I buy Polkadot? That's something you have to ask. At this point of the cycle, I want to own the coins that have been making higher lows and higher highs throughout the cycle. You could look at this and say, this is a great time to buy Polkadot. It bounced from that level here. It bounced from that level here. It bounced from that level here. Here it is again. I mean, I wouldn't shock me if Polkadot, and that's where you have to ask yourself. I'm not buying anything at this point of the cycle. I think if you're just getting into the cycle now, you have to make that decision for yourself. I do think there's more upside, and a lot more upside for the altcoin market. I think the altcoins have a lot more upside. A lot. Okay? It's just a question of, do you want to FOMO into the strong coins, okay? Or do you want to buy these coins that haven't done anything the whole cycle, right? That is the conundrum that you're going to have to ask yourself. You either have to FOMO into the strong coins, which I'd never advise doing, or you got to buy these coins that haven't done jack squat. And there's a lot of them that haven't done jack squat. Look at Chili's. Shout out to Hoffs. Oh man, dude, Chili's is still in this falling wedge, huh? It is still in the falling wedge. At some point, it's gonna break this falling wedge. That's the question you gotta ask yourself. I ain't gonna sit here and say buy the coins that haven't done jack squat the whole cycle, right? Oh, jeez. Fart coin. You know, I will say this, Anderson. If there is one, there is going to be a meme coin season again. There's always a meme coin season at the end of the cycle. There will be, I think, a meme coin season again. I actually think the cycle, this is my prediction. I think your ETH season is going to finish up. Okay. I still think right now is ETH season. I still think ETH is going to outperform the rest of the market. ETH season is going to go off. Okay. And then I do think there's going to be a time where kind of everything else pops off. And my prediction is this cycle will end with another Sol season. I think a Sol season will finish the cycle. Like when you start seeing Sol memes go off again, like that is another top signal. We should probably talk about our top signals. We'll talk about them towards the end here. But if you start seeing, Sol memes start to pop off again, guys, like that is the classic top signal. I do think we're gonna see that again. So like I just wanted to make that note. It wouldn't surprise me if the cycle ends with the Sol meme coin season. Fart coin's interesting me. I do want to have a position in some of these. I just don't know which ones yet. I'm not in any memes right now. I'm in all fundamental coins. So if memes start popping off today, I'm getting zero exposure. Just putting it out there. I'm in all fundamental coins right now. I'm not fundamental. Like I don't even know what to call them. Coins that I guess have some type of fundamental value or technical value. But I do want to get some meme exposure before this. Like Fart coin, oh man. I actually think Fart coin might be a good one to have. I think they got a little lower to go. I think the memes have a little lower to go. I would love to pick up some Fart in here. If we get like a 45 to 60 cent fart. sounds kind of funny to say. But if we get, you start to see everything else pop off, memes kind of bleed a little bit more. You get fart in here. I love to pick up some 45 to 60% fart jars. You know what I mean? People are coming in like, what is he talking about, fart jars? But right now I have no meme exposure. Zero memes. I own zero memes. So I do need to pick some up before it's too late. I think it's going to be, I think I got a few more weeks to pick up some memes. I'm not in any rush. I'm in zero rush with the meme exposure. Life savings in the fart. Lord. Bottoms in already on Fartcoin? I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, guys. We got our thesis, man. Does anyone disagree? I'm just curious, man. I always like to see what people say in the chat. End of the 4-year cycle. Do you believe in the 4-year cycle or you don't? Actually, the last thing I kind of want to talk about here is this. This is also a reason why I think the market's going to go higher here. We have the Coinbase app, right, ranking. Okay, every single cycle, Coinbase has reached the #1 app, and that's been at the top of the cycle. When it reaches number 10, that's a warning for a local top. But 2017, 2021, we saw Coinbase reach the #1 app. So far this cycle, we've seen it reach number 9. Okay, number 9, that was on November 14th of 2024. That was when Bitcoin was over here. November 14th, 2024 was over here, actually. Over here. Since then, we haven't done that. So in my personal opinion, this is kind of what we're going to talk about as we go along. But looking for Coinbase to get to that #1 app status. That's going to be another telltale sign. And that's not going to happen until altcoins pop off. I don't think retail is interested in Bitcoin. And I think, once again, once you get ETH into all-time highs, altcoins are going to start popping off. And that's when it's going to really get people to start jumping back into this market. And that's when you're going to see Coinbase. Like, you might look at this right now and say 303, it's never, or 322, it's never going to go up again. It can happen fast, guys. I mean, look back over here in November, okay, of 2024. Early November, it was at 484. Fast forward to mid-November, it got to number 9. It can happen in 2 weeks. You can go from the really, really low to the top 10 in 2 weeks. It can happen really, really fast. You just need something to spark. You need something to spark people to get in. I do think there's going to be some type of news event that's going to really kick this off. It's going to get people really, really feeling FOMO. Like people feeling that they need to be in the crypto market. They cannot afford not to be in the crypto market. There'll be some news that comes out. By the way, we got ETH pushing up again, dude. ETH is, yesterday was funny, man. Like, we had this little pullback here, and everyone was like so worried about it. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, like, ETH is already pushing back up. Am I, 100% sure ETH is just going to push back into new highs? Probably not. Probably not. It's probably going to consolidate here for a little bit, but I do think it's just a matter of time before we get ETH into price discovery here. But yeah, we got ETH 4,630. Bitcoin's pushing back up. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much short-term price action here. I think it's just a matter of time where everything is just going to push into new highs. And it'll be fun. It'll be a fun time, my friends. Let's see what we got, man. Wait, was that wait, did I just see Clint? There he is, man. Dude, Clint. Oh man, dude. Clint, one of my favorite names. You said, yeah, the Browns win more games than your Patriots this year. Throwing Joe Flacco better than anything your team can put on the field. Good to hear you're doing a bit more streams, buddy. Let's go, Clint. Good to see you, buddy. One of my favorite names, of course. How could you not? If you don't know who Clint is, you're not an OG. Thanks, buddy. I think the Patriots go 10-7. 10-7 is my guess. 10-7, 100% is my guess. And if I'm wrong, you can come at me. Browns 3-14. That's my guess, Clint. Vatican said, thanks for the vids, man. Hope all is good. Dude, like I said earlier, everything is great. Thanks for asking, man. Things could be better for me right now, so appreciate it, my man. Do you think altcoins do a minimum of 10x? No, I think it's lower than that. I actually think here's the thing. Nothing's changed for what I used to say. I still think there's too many altcoins for all of them to pump. But I think a lot of these top caps are going to I actually think the top cap alts are going to outperform the low cap alts. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think it's going to have to do with some type of news event and people are going to get hyped up on use case. That's why I've been fully preaching XRP. I've been fully preaching Chainlink. I've been fully preaching CRV. I've been fully preaching Crow, HBAR, XLM. Actually, basically the fundamental utility coins. I think those are going to be the main drivers. 10x is a lot. I don't think you're going to see like XRP, Chainlink, Crow 10x from here. Actually, the lower ones. I could see Crow doing it. I could see CRV doing it. I could see HBAR doing it. XRP is a little bit. I don't know if XRP will 10x. Don't get me wrong. Probably closer to like $9-10. But I think it's going to be mainly the top cap alts that do well. 10x is a lot, man. Like nowadays, a 10x is a big move. Like that's a big move nowadays, man. I still hold true that I think there's still going to be a picking aspect. Like for instance, right now, right? You're getting these moves, right? All these coins have already kind of moved off the lows. But then you have a lot of coins that are just sitting at the lows, right? It's still kind of a picker's market. You got to be kind of good at picking the coins. You don't need to be like perfect, right? I mean, I have some alts that haven't done jack squat, right? But I don't think it's going to be this thing where everything 10x is. Like, I think you're going to get other certain coins going nuts, and then other coins doing absolutely zero things. Maybe with like exception of like a little late cycle thing where everything just kind of gets a pump at the end. But I don't know, man. I still think the fundamental coins are the better plays, and then right at the end, I think you see a meme coin season, just like how it is every time, right? You see a little meme coin season at the end, where memes pop off. Because then you got all the speculators buying fart coin and titty coin, right? And all that stuff. Oh, BTC, the other assets would be fun to track. Yeah. Well, right now I think Bitcoin's gonna be going into alts right now, man. I think Bitcoin dominance is making that move down. But right now it's ETH season. So the Bitcoin dominance move down right now has mostly been ETH. You've seen some other coins pop off too. BNB's been doing well. But right now it's ETH season. ETH, I think, will continue to dominate. But then I think the real fun starts. And if anyone remembers 2021, people forget how fast this happens, man. We've already kind of seen it, a little bit of a sneak peek right here. But people kind of forget how fast that happened. And in 2017... how fast that happened, right? This move down and this move down. It's only a few months. It's not long. If even that. Sometimes it's a few weeks. Like this move down was in March to May. March to May. That was that move. This one was literally December to January. 1 month. 1 month. 2 months. Maybe 3 months? I don't know. But it doesn't take long. Like when it does happen, it doesn't take long. 1 month, 2 month, 1, 2, 3 month. Maybe we just continue. Maybe we continue the order and it's 3 months now. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I think we've been live for like an hour. I'm gonna cook some dinner and get dinner ready for the girl here, and we'll do this again. We'll do this again. I think Polygon stalling at the point. Thank you, Kelton Maps. Thank you, man. Polygon selling at 25 cents. Polygon's another one that's just sitting at the lows. Anyways, guys, I gotta make dinner for the chica and do some other stuff. So we're gonna do this again. All right, it's at least going to be a weekly thing going forward. I would say probably if this market really does what I think it's gonna do, is probably gonna be like two times a week. Right? Maybe we'll do like Tuesday, Thursday streams, and then the rest other days videos. But at least want to do at least 1 to 2 times a week going forward here. And have some fun, right? Hopefully, obviously right now we're not really having anything pushing into new highs besides really Crow. Maybe we'll do a pump song for Crow as we end the stream here, but definitely a 1 to 2 week a week thing. I don't want to overdo it. I overdid it for a while, and it's kind of why I kind of stopped. So 1 to 2 times a week we'll do a live stream of the other days videos. But it was fantastic to see all you guys. Thank you for the support and the kind words. And I think we're going to have some fun times coming here over the next few weeks to months. I don't think there's a lot of time, but I think the time that we're going to have is going to be fun. Okay, and then we're going to be here for it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. For the biggest blow-off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest rug pull. Be here for the journey. And I'll see you guys in a video tomorrow, or maybe a live stream Thursday. We'll see. I'm not going to promise, but see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much. And maybe we'll do a pump song for Crow. All right. As it's kind of the only coin that's pumping right now, but we'll do it. Right into resistance, of course. What's better? All right. Later, guys. Pump song for Crow. Let's get it.